I think this is the one situation where chalk and cheese have really got together to create an interesting little dish. But I think the basic theme to this whole thing is that we let each other be.
Yeah, you be you,
Yeah.
let me be me.
Yeah,
Very important.
yeah.
Now a question which is exactly opposite of what I just asked you. What is the one thing that you think, irrespective of all the good things that you're saying about each other? So I'll go with Prashant first now. What is the one thing that you think that um, she can be better perhaps? Or in terms of, I don't want to bring in the quality of judgment necessarily, but all of us have grown as adults and we have a certain point of view, certain uh, worldview, if I were to call, how much ever it matches the other person, there is this strong sense of what makes us tick. And it's not necessarily that one has to agree or disagree with someone, but if there is something that you feel that she could either develop further or she could at least focus the light on that aspect and work a little on that, what would that be?
See,
If at all there's anything.
theoretically, there are zero things. Theoretically, there are a billion things. Okay. But for me, I'm not, I can't even answer that question. Like, my whole philosophy is, a person is the way they are because of the way they are. Okay.
Yeah.
You come into the world with certain tendencies, you come into the world with certain like certain character traits, personality traits, and you are the way you are. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, if that mixture of character traits is in, like, with regard with in relation to you, is going into a negative score, then you will never get together with that person, or at least you shouldn't. But if you have decided to be with that person, it's obviously because that whole equation is in the positives, right? So when you've made that decision, I think it lies more on you to be able to find it within yourself to accommodate anything that you might find amiss, or like, I don't think it's right to expect another person to be another thing. Like, it just doesn't, it doesn't even strike me that way. Not just with Varsha, for me, with any person with whom I have a relationship, I accept people the way they are. Like, it doesn't matter, even if according to the world they might be terrible people, but if that person is in my life and I have decided to have a relationship, a meaningful relationship with that person, then I will find it within me to be able to accommodate that thing and be okay with it. That is my perspective. That's just the way I am.
Okay. Varsha, because he's answered it the way he has, and I have a nagging doubt that you might go down the same this. I'll explain the question with a little more clarity. We are all evolutionary beings. At some point, uh, irrespective of what Prashant said, which I think is a very good way to live in the world because it lets everyone be themselves. There's less fight within families and within all of society as we see it today. But having said that, there is a certain evolutionary streak in all of us, which, like, I'll give you an example that keeps happening in my own personal journey. I see myself as as if vibes were something that one could see physically, then I think these are emotions, feelings, vibes. These have taken the body called Bunty, and this is the best way I express these various emotions or feelings or rationale or whatever that I have. Within that, I am very skeptical of putting my foot down and being very, very confident and fighting on something some days, because I want to leave that space open to be wrong. Maybe I'll change my mind by the evening or tomorrow morning about any subject. Moral values is a separate concept, but even within that also there is a lot of chemistry happening. You you may have, as a young person, you may think certain things are right. As you grow up, you think, maybe whatever my parents told me or whatever the society was saying, there is a bit of understanding that I lacked. So, is there something that you feel that within Prashant's journey itself, at some point you saw something or you see something now that you feel that is either very exciting or else can be worked upon?
Actually, Bunty, I've now known Prashant for a little over 11 years.
Yeah,
And in that time, I think Prashant had already done a lot of evolving.
yeah,
When I met him, you've known him longer than I have.
yeah,
So I'm sure you've seen the
yes,
difference. So he had already done a lot of evolving. And the amazing thing that I've seen is that he has continued to evolve. The one fear that plagues all of us is that we will either grow together or we will grow apart
yeah,
in a relationship. And that's in every relationship.
yeah,
We've all
yeah,
left friends behind, cousins, people who we've been really close to. And that hasn't happened to us yet. And I always say yet because who knows where life is going to take any of us. But what I've seen with Prashant is that he had already done a serious amount of evolving, I'm sure, and he has continued to evolve. So from day one to 11 and something years later, I've already seen differences in him.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was already calm, he's deeper. The depth of emotion, the depth of thought, the depth of understanding has increased. The level of patience has increased. He's always been patient, but now he's patient on other matters. It's no longer detached patience. It's now patience which is accepting you and allowing you to arrive at what he already knows. So there's no trying to tell you that, no, no, baby, you listen, I'm telling you, this is how it's going to be. So I actually am not no longer worried because I realized along the way that I have met a person who is going to continue to evolve and grow because that's just who he is. And now the only thing that remains to be seen is where this journey is going to take him.
yeah,
And, looking forward to the next thing that he discovers about himself and I discover about him. And if I wanted different, I'd have married different.
yeah,
But so it's actually the journey has become much more exciting where I no longer have to wish he would do something. I know he's going to do something very interesting in terms of who he's going to be in the next 10 years. And I'm completely just looking forward to seeing that, to meeting that new Prashant who is going to show up. So when people say keep the excitement alive in a relationship, it doesn't happen with the Thursday night date night
yeah,
or sending unexpected flowers. That keeping the relationship alive and the excitement alive is seeing who the other person is going to grow into and who's the person you're going
yeah,
to know a few years down the line. He could be completely someone I don't like anymore, but willing to accept that because it's just so exciting to know that there's going to be another person coming out.
yeah. In this many husbands that you are going to get over the years.
Yeah, regular Draupadi.
Yeah. Prashant, I have a question there. She said a very interesting thing, which I agree with. I've seen you, although we've not been as much in touch, but I think one senses the other person's way of being has changed or settled down. So I do find uh, that this aspect of self-love that you have is far more at peace, which was a little more angst-ridden. If I'm just putting words here, they are not necessarily exactly what they mean in this context. But since you know yourself, so some part of it I would put to obviously youth and well, the bravado that we wanted to change the world and just rule it. Um, but there is this sense of calmness that I agree with that you bring to yourself. Would you would you want to just take us through what is it that you discovered on the journey that kind of acted as a catalyst or was it something that you pursued? Was it something that grew on you? How did you come to this place of calmness and acceptance, vis-a-vis what when I met you, where we were fairly young and we wanted to go out and raise our flags of victory and stuff like that in the fields that we were. How have you made your peace? What is it that led you to become calmer? Uh, what is it really?
I think I was born this way, man. I'm not exaggerating. I think I was born this way, and I've always been tending towards being calm. When we were young, I never saw it as wanting to raise our victory flags because I never thought I was at war, or I never wanted to like prove myself or anything. I just wanted to be good at what I was doing.
Okay.
And as is, in our youth, you tend to indulge in a lot of alcohol and other intoxicants, and then that, like, you get into sexual politics with people, and like it's basically a very it's a very uneven, and it's not a stable, it's a very unstable existence. So at
Yeah.
that time you just at that time you forget that you were born calm, because I was always calm as a child. I was calm in my school. I was calm. I lost the so-called calmness. I mean, I didn't lose it, but it kind of disappeared from the top of my personality after I went to college and I started drinking, right? Alcohol changes you, man. And I guess somewhere along the way, one fine day when I was like, maybe 2, 3 years ago, I was deeply unhappy with the constant, you know, fluttering of the worldview. So I started meditating. I started reading up spiritual books, and I refound that state of calm, which luckily I have been born with. So I didn't really lose it. I just had to uncover it. So I just had to meditate and read books and basically get into God. So it kind of took away the thing. But I mean, like I said, like we spoke last time in our conversation last time, it's a continuous process, and you are a mixture of many different tendencies. Many of them are contradictory. So while yes, calm is the basic thing, but on top of that, there are many things which are fighting. So you got to keep sweeping away those things to keep the calmness on the forefront. Otherwise, it can very easily again get covered by the dust of so many things. Because the world is crazy, right? I mean, the stuff that keeps coming to you on social media, TV, anything. You look outside, everyone is doing something for TikTok or Instagram. All those things tend to affect your stability of mind. So you got to work on it.